So if you guys are wondering, I did color my hair. That is why there's a little bit of darkness right in this area and my scalp. And why I have a lot of bronzer right here. It looks a little funny because we got a little bit of color on my scalp. It will fade away quite a bit here in the next 2 weeks, and then it'll kind of come out into its real like redness. Like I like more of a cranberry look. This is a little bit darker to me, but we added a little bit more purple than what I had wanted. Nonetheless, once you see it in the sun, it'll be more red, and then here in a little bit it'll wash out, and once it washes out, it'll end up turning out to be the way I like it. Let's go ahead and start off with this one because this is one of the newer ones that I brought to my collection. This here is the Real Techniques Buffing Up Brush, but it is a really great brush. I got mine in a set. I don't know if they make them singled, but if they do, I'll definitely link them both individually and in a set down below for you guys. This one is one that you can either pat in your foundation or you can kind of just buff it in. I also do like that it doesn't leave any sort of streakiness. This is by Real Techniques, so I do know that this is really affordable, so I definitely would check this one out. It is a really great brush. I think if I could pick up another one, I definitely will. This here is the E.l.f. Cosmetics powder brush. I love to use this for both reasons. I have 2 of these, and I use one for powder because I feel like it really packs on the powder. If you are a powder foundation person, this is a great affordable brush to have. Also, if you like to use a liquid foundation, you can also use it for it. And I like it because it's larger, so it allows for more coverage, and you can also stipple it on and it comes out flawless, you guys. I will say that you will lose a little bit of foundation. Like you'll definitely have to add more foundation than what you're used to if you're using a brush like this. About the second or the third time that you use this brush, you'll be like, oh my goodness, like my skin is looking flawless because it's kind of gotten that, you know, that little bit of extra foundation from the day before. I don't know about you guys, but I've noticed that sometimes, like on the first day that I use a brush, it's never as good as the second or third day. You know what I mean? It's definitely one of those brushes. I really like it. I think it retails for maybe $6, and it's a really great brush. Again, I use it for powder. I use it for liquid. It's really good all the way around. Let's move into this one because I feel like I have not talked about this brand in a really long time, and I used to use their brushes all the time, and it's not that I don't. I really want to dive more into their brushes and get back into it because the more I look at my collection, the more I notice things and similarities and differences between some of my brushes. There are certain brushes that I have in my collection that really just don't hold up throughout the years. I have other brushes that have stood the test of time, and I find that this brand specifically, their brushes hold up for the long term. If you are looking for a really great brush set and you want longevity in your brush set, this is definitely the brand to go to, and this is the Sigma Angled Kabuki F84. Now, I used to use the F80, and I'm sure we all remember that brush. It is a great, great brush. I don't have it, but it is one of my favorite brushes, and I definitely want to pick it up again. But I still have this one, and this one I've had for years, you guys, and it has stood up so well. And you guys can see this one is more angled, but I think the reason why I like that it's more angled is I feel that it curves way better to the skin than the F80 does. Now, I'm not saying that that one's not good. It's a really great brush, but this one I feel just does a really good job. Like you see the way that it like conforms to your skin. I actually did use this brush to apply my foundation today, and I just love the coverage that it gives. The foundation I'm actually using today, oh, I see something under my eye. I'm actually using this foundation, which is the Light Wander by Charlotte Tilbury, and this is like a lightweight kind of a foundation, but when I use this brush, I get a really great coverage out of it. This is one of those brands that I have their brushes, I just have gotten so distracted and pushed away, not distracted, but I've geared into other brands the last couple of years, and I've realized that some of those brushes, while they are more affordable and they are really easy to come by, the quality just isn't as great as the Sigma brushes. Here I actually made a resolution to myself that I was going to try to get more Sigma beauty brushes and try to dive into more of those because I really do miss them. I have a few of their eye brushes that I also use, and those have stood really, really long time. Like the handles don't break, the ferrules are good, the bristles don't fall out. It is an incredible brush set to have. If you guys haven't tried Sigma brushes, I definitely would recommend them. So I have this one, which is the It Cosmetics Dual Ended blended brush. This is their Complexion Perfection, and one side is for concealer and one side is for an all-in-one, kind of an all-over powder brush. If you guys have not tried IT Cosmetics brushes, you guys definitely need to dive into that brand. I specifically like this brush because I use this for my powder foundation. If you guys haven't seen, here a couple weeks ago, I threw out a Bare Minerals, like how I use Bare Minerals powder foundation to cover up, you know, my skin and stuff, and I gave you a bunch of tips and tricks. I'll link it right here, but you guys should definitely check it out. And this is one of my favorite brushes to use. I go to this brush all the time. Even if you don't like powder foundations, and if you're looking for a brush that's going to pick up a good amount of your powder, like your compact powder, this is one to definitely check out. I do know that IT Cosmetics also makes numerous brushes like this that have the same style, just different sizes. So if you're wanting something a little bit smaller, a little bit bigger, it's just a really great all-around brush to have. We have two more brushes, and they're both by the same brand. The very first one I'm going to talk about is this one right here, which is, my goodness, people, my phone's broken, and it's not broken, but it is kind of broken. My phone's like kind of broken, so it makes like this really weird, like it's almost like falling apart, I think. And it sounds really weird when it vibrates. I'm just too cheap to fix it. I need to go to the Apple store and have it fixed. I know I have to pay outright for them to fix it. I hate going to the Apple store, and I hate the idea of having to buy a new Apple phone when I don't want to spend that kind of money on it because they are so overpriced. So I'm struggling. I'm letting that thing just kind of die out. So the next one I have is this one right here, which is the Morphe Y7. I love the way that it applies my foundation. I like the way it sits on my skin. I like to use this when I'm needing to pack on the coverage, like right around my textured areas or my forehead. But can you hear that? Yeah, it's falling apart, and I haven't had it this long. So that's the only thing I don't like about these Morphe brushes. Some of the lines from Morphe, their brushes are really great, and then others are just really terrible. But this is a brush that I definitely think is actually worth the hype. I think it actually works really well. Now, I do know that that one's a little bit pricier. I don't know if it's as pricey as the next one, but this is also one by Morphe, so you can check out both of them if you're looking for a good Morphe brush or if you really like the Morphe brand. And I find that this line particularly holds up way better than this one, surprisingly. I thought this one would hold up better, but these actually hold up a lot better. And this here is the Morphe E7. This is the smallest one that I've showed you guys so far. I love this foundation brush because it's small enough that if you are somebody that likes to use one brush for multiple things and you don't want to dive into multiple brushes to do your foundation and your concealer and all that stuff in the morning, this can also work as a concealer brush because it is small enough to get under there. You're not going to get the most precise coverage, but if you're just looking to blend it out and kind of just hurry up and go, it's a really great all-in-one kind of brush to have. So I just wanted to share with you guys the brushes that I use, the brushes that I really like for my foundation, what I have in my collection currently, and what I use. I'm sure you guys have seen some of these brushes in my videos before, or I've mentioned them, or through passing, seeing my IG or whatever, you may have seen them, and these are the brushes that I really like. I'll go ahead and link them all down below for you guys to check out. If you guys want to see what they're like or anything like that, I'll make sure to have price points and everything down there for you guys too, so you guys can see which brush would be more along your purchase price. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to give it a thumbs up if you guys enjoyed it, and if you guys want to see kind of like maybe an affordable brush line that I currently have right now, maybe some of my favorite brushes for certain things, let me know down below. Otherwise than that, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of the evening. I will see you guys all in my next video. If you guys didn't know, I do upload on Sundays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays, all at 6 p.m. So I will see you guys next time, and I hope you guys have a wonderful evening. Bye.